returning subscribers that are just tuning back in and stopping by, I thank you so much for stopping by. For anyone who is new and stopping by, I thank you so much for stopping by. If you are a brand new subscriber, thank you so much for being subscribed to my channel. For everyone that's been rocking with me since the beginning and even now, I thank you so much for joining my journey and being here with me. You guys are the real MVP. So today I'm going to be talking to you about deep conditioning one-on-one, but I do want to make a point before I do that. I did do a change within my hair growth journey. You probably have seen it or noticed it lately, something that I'm doing. I'll be talking about that in an upcoming video and getting that to you guys as well. But without further ado, let's get into the video. I do have my handy dandy handy dandy list. And if y'all are looking, I do still have my twist in, but I have my turban on because I keep my hair covered up just because so I don't mess with it. So it's a method to my madness. When I got hand and hair syndrome, I keep my turban on. All right, let's get into it. So let's talk about the benefits of deep conditioning your natural hair. It probably sounds repetitive to other videos, but this is things, when I tell and speak to y'all about things, it's usually stuff that I've experienced on my journey. So I'm giving this to y'all. It's a generalization of things that I'll notice. So there's that. The first benefit is rapid hair growth. So prior to me starting my natural hair journey, I never was deep conditioning my hair. When I would go to the hair salon, I would never deep condition because they would just charge me extra to deep condition my hair, and I'm a cheapskate. I wasn't going to pay that extra money to get my hair deep conditioned. Just wash my hair with the shampoo and conditioner and keep it moving. Yes, my hair was growing, but not as rapid as it is now, so you do get rapid hair growth. Next one is moisture retention. We lose a lot of our moisture when we're doing hairstyles like protective styles with braiding hair. The hair is very drying, blow drying our hair, whatever it is that we're doing, our hair gets dry during the week. You can use moisturizers to re-moisturize your hair, but deep conditioners kind of just give your hair that boost and that reset, so that way you have that moisture that's there that you've lost throughout the time. Another added benefit is it's smoother detangling sessions, and that's depending upon if your deep conditioner has slip, meaning that when you put it on your hair, and whether you're using a detangling tool or if you're like me, you use your fingers, if your fingers or your tool is able to just glide through with the tangles and there's no trouble, then that's a really good deep conditioner, and it just makes it a lot easier for you to detangle your hair as well. Your hair is also getting vital nutrients that are needed for your hair to continue to grow and flourish. Deep conditioning is so important, and that's a vital part of your journey because that's one of the products that sits on your hair the longest, besides moisturizers that you may use throughout the week or whenever you moisturize your hair. Deep conditioners, they do sit on your hair, so you're getting all the vital nutrients from the oils to the different herbs and things like that that are infused inside of those deep conditioners. And the last added benefit is you would have healthier hair. It assists in you having healthier hair. It doesn't take away or negate the fact that you will eventually have split ends, because that's just the nature of what happens, and that's what lets us know that we need to trim our hair. Your hair will be healthier in a sense because it will help with keeping your hair moisturized. And remember, I said it before in videos, if you keep your hair moisturized, then you don't have to worry about having to get trims as often because your ends are moisturized, and it kind of helps with that. So let's talk about just different things with deep conditioning. So you do need to know your hair's porosity to see how your hair takes in moisture. Now with high porosity hair, which I have, our hair strands and follicles, it's opened up, so I don't have to do a lot to get moisture into my hair, because moisture is always able to get into my hair pretty rapidly, pretty quickly. It's just it leaves as fast as it gets in, which leads to that dryness and that excessive dryness. So that's like a key indicator of high porosity hair. Low porosity hair, I don't have it, but I do know a little bit about that, not the whole nine. It's a little bit harder for moisture and things like that to get in. So when you're deep conditioning, it would be good for you to use steamers, or for you to sit under a hooded dryer with a plastic shower cap, or like there's those hot head caps. There's so many different tools, or you can sit. When I used to think I had low porosity hair, you can sit inside your bathroom, let the shower water run with the steam. If you don't have all of that fancy expensive stuff and you don't want to spend money, and that steam will get in that way, it's just going to be a little hot. There's also hair steamers as well. So with low porosity hair, they have to fight, those that have low porosity hair, they have to fight a little bit more to get that moisture inside their hair. High porosity hair, we don't have to do that as much. That's why I said in my video things that I don't do in my on my natural hair journey. One of them was not covering my hair during deep conditioning sessions, because my hair follicles are already opened back up. The strands and everything are opened back up so that moisture can get in easier, so I don't have to do anything extra. Next thing with the deep conditioning 101 is you got to pay attention to deep conditioners that sit on top of your hair. You probably have heard it before. You might not know what it looks like. I know I didn't. For like a whole year I was using deep conditioners that would sit on top of my hair, and my hair would never get the benefits or nutrients of the deep conditioner. That's why I ran into a lot of issues. You'll know that it's not that it's just sitting on top of your hair because it will never dissolve into your hair. Sometimes it takes a little bit, especially if it's a creamier textured deep conditioners. It takes a little bit for that to go into your hair and penetrate your hair. But you'll know because it'll just never dissolve into your hair. It'll just sit there even when you put the plastic shower cap on. If you're low porosity or if you're just walking around, if it never dissolves or gets into your hair, that means it's sitting on top of your hair. If you still see that creamy consistency, white consistency on top of your hair shaft, that's the word I was looking for earlier when I said your hair shaft is opened up for the moisture, going back to my first point. But if you see the creamy consistency, or you just see it, just whatever it is, the residue from the deep conditioner sitting on top, and you've had your hair, you've had it in your hair for a good half hour, however long it states, or however long you keep it in, then that means it's just sitting on top of your hair. You're never getting the nutrients that's needed. So what happens is it's not a good deep conditioning session, because you're not getting the added benefits from it. Your hair never received it because it's just a product that's sitting on top of your hair. So you want to just pay attention and make sure that you look for deep conditioners. It's going to take trial and error. You look for deep conditioners that don't sit on top of your hair. That's why I make my deep conditioners, i.e. DIY Ayurvedic vegan deep conditioners. I don't have to worry about that. Next thing that I want to say is the time of the application. And the time of the application the application of the deep conditioner, how long you keep it on your hair. Some people, they sleep in these deep conditioners overnight. If you like doing it and you feel like you're going to be getting all the added benefits if you leave it in for hours at a time, or if you sleep with it in your hair, go ahead and do that, because that's how you're running your journey. It's different. Everybody here different. Have fun, rock out. Me, I don't do that. I did that a few times in the beginning, and what I've learned from watching other YouTubers and listening to them, which it does make sense if you pay attention and you don't do DIYs, but you're using a deep conditioner that is from the store. Prime example, if you flip the jar, they have an allotted time, meaning a time for which the deep conditioner needs to be applied before you rinse it out. Some of them may say let it, Shea Moisture is prime example, without heat, it'll say let it sit on your hair for 5 minutes. You can apply it with heat or with the steamer and let it sit on there for 30 minutes. The reason why they have those time frames for that, or that allotted time, is because they've tested their product out, their deep conditioner out, and they know exactly how long the deep conditioner needs to sit on your hair. Anything after that, they know that there's no added benefit because they've tested it out. They know how long it should stay on there. So if it tells you to leave it on your hair with steam for a half hour and you have it on there for like 6 hours or however long, you sit under the steamer, they know, the company itself knows that there's no added benefit past that time. But if you decide to do that, you just are deep conditioning just the deep conditioning, like just to be deep conditioning to the gods. Like, they know the allotted time. So it's good to follow the time frame that they have on there for you to go ahead and apply that deep conditioner. Even with my DIYs, the most I might leave them on my hair for is a half hour, and that's without my hair being covered. I feel like a half hour is a good rule of thumb for your deep conditioner, because if you're not getting the benefits of your deep conditioner within that first half hour, then that's not a good deep conditioner and something is wrong. You might want to switch and look into something different. Next thing that I have here is the amount of the deep conditioner, the cost of the deep conditioner, cost effectiveness. I make mine because I don't have time for these companies. A lot of them charge you between $11 to $22 for a deep conditioner. They may give you like an 8-ounce jar or a 12-ounce jar. I told you, I'm in deep conditioner game heavy, and you're spending that much money on a regular basis. Now, if you were someone like me, like on a regular basis, before I was washing my hair every week, sometimes 2 and 3 times a week, imagine how much deep conditioner and how much money you're spending. I do DIYs because I can go to the produce market up the street from my house, from my apartment, and I can go ahead and buy the ingredients that I need and just make it and make as much as I want and freeze it and still have enough left over to get multiple uses out instead of those 1 or 2 uses. Like, you know, as your hair grows throughout your natural hair journey, you're going to use more and more product. I don't know any naturals that use a dime size of deep conditioner on your hair for their sections. Y'all comment down if y'all know one, but if your hair is thick, like every natural's hair is, you use a lot of product. That's why we spend so much money on natural hair care products, because you're using so much product, especially if it's a good one. So I would say with deep conditioning 101, you want to look at just the cost. Like, is it worth that much? And when I realized myself how much money I was spending for these 8 and 12-ounce jars of deep conditioner, and I was getting 1 and 2 uses, that's why I started making deep conditioners, because I was like, that's a lot of money that I'm putting out to make this deep conditioner, and I'm not getting a lot of uses. I'm getting like 1 or 2 uses. That's not good for me within itself. The next thing that I have here is you want to look at how often you're deep conditioning your hair. So I would say minimum, maximum 1 to 2 times a week, once a week. You know, if you're not somebody that's washing your hair every week. Me, I deep condition every time I come out of a protective style. I always deep condition, and my deep conditioner is mixed with protein, so it's a deep conditioner / protein treatment all in one for that, and I use it, basically it's been recently every 2 weeks, and it's been good for me to apply. So just how many times you should be applying, 1 to 2 times a week. Some people wash their hair more times, like 3 times a week, so they may have to apply a deep conditioner 3 times a week. There's no such thing as over deep conditioning your hair, because it's something with moisture. Protein treatments, don't use them that often, your hair is going to break off. But with it, you just 1 to 2 times a week is a good rule of thumb, or just 1 time a week. I do it every 2 weeks, because it's just depending upon when you're washing your hair. But every time you shampoo your hair, you should be deep conditioning your hair, because shampoos, not moisturizing ones, but if you're doing a sulfate cleanse, they're very stripping to the hair, and you need to get that moisture back in. So deep conditioners help with that. Deep conditioning your hair 1 to 2 times a week. Once a week, I would say 2 times, if you know, it doesn't really matter how many, but 1 to 2 times a week. Next thing I have here is my point I just said, deep condition after you shampoo. I just talked about that, so we touched on that point as well. And then also the last thing I want to talk about with deep conditioners are harmful ingredients versus healthy ingredients for our hair. Now, deep conditioners, I just said, and I think at some point in time in this video, it might have been the beginning, they sit on your hair the longest. That's like one of the longest hair products that sits on your hair, besides your moisturizers that you use to moisturize your hair, whatever you use to style your hair. So if you're using a deep conditioner, it proclaims it has a lot of infused herbs and oils, but they also have chemicals mixed in it. It's a lot of chemicals, i.e. that are harmful to our body. I will link my video in the end where I talk about just the different harmful ingredients in our hair care products as well. You figure if you're doing it, and I just say you deep condition your hair 1 to 2 times a week, over time you're getting exposure to those chemicals. So imagine if you're sitting 1 to 2 times a week, that's an hour of time, because you should be at the most deep conditioning your hair for a half hour. Some people do it, it's okay to do it for like an hour, so like an hour to 2 hours of deep conditioning time a week. So what happens is, over that time, an hour or 2 hours a week, or every 2 weeks or whenever, you're exposing yourself to different chemicals that are ultimately not good for your body, not good for your health. That's why we as women have a lot of issues that come up later on in life, because of the exposure of hair care products where they add those chemicals in. It'll say, you know, I would say with deep conditioners or any hair care products, if it says natural on the front, 9 times out of 10 it's not natural. You want to go with something that either says it's vegan or organic, because that's the stuff that, you know, ultimately is, they know that they made that stuff from the earth, as herbs from the earth. That's why I do a lot of DIYs, y'all, because I don't have time for it. Okay, they have these additives with chemicals, because I understand it helps with the shelf life, but it's also stuff that's harming us over time, or that's causing different damaging things to your hair. So you just want to really pay attention to that. That's for unhealthy ingredients. Now, healthy ingredients are like my DIYs, like Ayurvedic herbs such as henna, chebe, guacamole, avocado, things like that. Essential oils, that stuff is healthy for you, and it's not going to kill you over time, you know, from you using it or being exposed to it. So I really hope this video was helpful. I know I'm talking a lot, but I'll be trying to give y'all this information. I've been on my hair journey for almost 3 years, so I'm not a hairdresser or a hairstylist, any of that, but I'm just giving you based off of what I've experienced with my hair, what I've read, different things, and just over time, because I wasn't just watching YouTube videos, and I want to give y'all this information. I'm hoping that it's helpful. I hope y'all do your own research as well. Y'all will see a lot of the stuff that I talked about in this video as well, and I'm just so grateful again that y'all support me on my journey and keep following me. I'm like proud of y'all that y'all stuck with me for so long on this journey, and I'm just really hoping that I can continue to create great content, that God allows me to move and just continuously give y'all this information and help y'all make some great choices, not just for your natural hair, but for your lifestyle as well. A lot of YouTubers, there are a lot that have inspired me to just continue to talk about this. I know in the beginning I did a lot of store-bought products, but now I'm just like revamping into this, because I've always been into this as well, even before YouTube, with making my products, and I just want to help y'all make a lot of healthier choices. That's all I have for y'all today. I don't have anything else. I thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.